Hi, Mike.
How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm in a very good place at the moment. I'm just loving life and everything that life is throwing at me at the moment. It's all been fantastic. Yeah, I'm very grateful.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love the topic, looking at how our unconsciousness affects our reality. That sounds
Mm.
very large, sounds very big, but I'm sure that it's something that we're doing all the time and not realizing. And I would love to unpick that with you. So tell me your perception of what is our unconsciousness and what is reality, and how does that work and marry together?
It's an intriguing subject, and it's a very in-depth subject to look at because it's getting to know who we really are. We're not the physical body. That's first and foremost. We're not our names, and we're something a lot deeper. And all the mystery schools and all the sacred tribes and indigenous tribes across the planet have all said, and all shamans and all sages and seers have talked about we humans are a lot more than what we see.
Yes.
And based on that insight, um, if we know that we're more than what we see, there's a lot more to reality than meets the eye. And that's what we're saying here is that we are a microcosm of the cosmic, the big cosmic game out there. We're the essence of the stars.
Mm.
You know, we've got all the elements of the stars, the nitrogen, the oxygen, the carbon. We're just the essence of the stars. And subsequently, consciousness is endowing every human being. We are more than what we see, and we are part of the cosmos. That's when the game changes. But can we make that reality? That's the thing, Sophia. Can we make consciousness part of reality? That's what I'm saying to the average person. And I will say unequivocal, yes.
Yeah. So it feels like we need to understand that we are one with the universe. We are the same, and in the same way that destiny, our minds are controlling our destiny. So our thoughts are becoming things in essence. So what you're saying is, if we can harness and accept and harness that understanding, then major things can happen. Big changes can happen.
Yeah, because a lot of us are struggling with the old mental paradigm, which is stuck into the subconscious programming. So we've got old mental paradigms which are obsolete, dated, old doctrines, which is thank you, which is causing us that push pull. You take a giant step forward and taking steps back. We're not getting there. We're not making a serious inroads in our life because we're not taking it serious enough. We don't sit down. We don't take the time to contemplate the ramification of a statement like that. How does consciousness affect reality? Your thoughts, your feeling, your mind and heart coherence is an energetic field which is impressed on a holographic field, the quantum field. That's a level of knowledge we've got to start comprehending. If we're going to change this game, it's not what has happened to us in the past. It's not what's happening in the present. It's what's happening here, right now, right here, right now.
A
Because
lot.
that's our power right here, right now. We understand that we create our reality with consciousness.
I mean, a lot of people might say, well, if I'm creating my reality, I'm doing a very bad job because this is not the reality that I want, or this is not the world that I want to be in. And a phrase which I'm hearing a lot more often, where people are feeling, I don't want to be here. This isn't worth it. This isn't life. I don't want this. The wars, rumors of war, the lockdowns and economy. There seems to be so much negativity. So many people are feeling the weight of the world, and so they will say, "Well, if I'm designing this, what am I doing wrong? Because this isn't good for me."
So, in the same environment, there are people thriving. In the same environment, people are thriving, and the people are, basically going into stuff. People are going through stuff, and people are coming out of stuff.
Mm.
Each and every human has its own ordained life. He or she has made a blueprint of what he wants or she wants in this lifetime. It's like what they call a soul blueprint.
Mm.
Now, until we get that awakening, come on, Mikey, when we get that awakening, within ourselves, that there is more to reality, then things start to shift. Things start to shift because look at your language. Look at the language we're going to use. Somebody's now shifted the whole mental paradigm. They've moved the landscape of the mind. They've shifted consciousness to a higher level of thinking. They realize everything's energy. If everything's energy, that I can manipulate energy. We can. There's a film I get people to look at. It's called Push. 2011 or 2008. It's no film, but you can see how people can manipulate this type of energy. People in aristocracy and various hierarchy of society, they know this. They don't have the weight of the volume of people, but they do have the volume of the knowledge from the Egyptian, from deep into secret society, deep into mystery schools. So the person over here is saying the weight of the world is on the shoulder is being programmed by a certain paradigm. But if this person says, okay, there's all these things going on around here, but I still create my reality. So take the example, this person could say, well, okay, let me do some quantum leaping. And what does that mean, Mikey? This person's closed his eyes and said, right, this is a reality I would like to create for myself. Now, he's pictured and visualized that, and in his imagination, painted the picture across the mind. And he's doing that morning and night, and very diligent, steadfast. He's using another aspect of his being called reticular activation system of the body. He's really focused. She's really focused on that reality. That timeline has been shifted. So everything's working and gravitating to that person because of what she's thinking in her world, her micro universe. So this person still in the same environment is now experiencing all this goodness. Good things. I've got this woman who's just coming out of being chronically alcoholic, and she tried everything. And she's got. Hopefully, we can interview her. So if you're lovely to interview her, she's an amazing woman now, and she's shifted her paradigm. She says to me now, I didn't realize there's not enough hours in a day to study this consciousness and how I'm creating reality. She said, Mike, it's just magical. I said, it is. It's a lot of work. Oh, it is, because there's a whole body of knowledge. It's like studying the magnesium, the different minerals that the body requires, and how the energetic. So consciousness is a whole library of knowledge. It's not like, oh, well, just consciousness, reality. No, you've got to understand about the quantum field. You've got to understand about the different sacred laws. You've got to understand that you're an essence. You've got to understand you're incarnated and you wanted to be here, and that you created this reality. And the more they turn up what they're doing at the moment, there's more power in you. There is more power. Prove it to me. Well, what about your third eye? Oh, no one talked about that. Well, you've got these different organs inside you which work on you. What about the hippocampus? What's that to do with? And this is the problem. People don't know themselves. So they get stuck in their own mental paradigm. I've got to work hard, I've got to save this, and that gets that. And I said, well, no, it don't work like that. That's the old way of thinking. We are in a new dispensation of time where now knowledge comes to the table. This is what's shaking and making things move. And this is where we take back our power. Consciousness is the way forward. I'll say that to everyone I love. You want to change your game? Understand, study consciousness.
Yeah, that's amazing. I feel like what you're saying is that the world around us are trying to force us in a certain direction, making us think a certain way, to believe certain things. But if we start
Yes.
to understand ourselves and understand the power within, then we can create the world that we want, even if it's on a smaller level, which will have an effect on the larger level. No matter what the circumstances, our thoughts can make changes. And
Yes.
it starts with you. It starts inside. It starts with you. As opposed to waiting for the world to change, you need to change. And to do that, we need to study ourselves, study our consciousness, study the aspects that aren't readily available in school, but we need to, the information is there. We're in the time of technology and information. We're in the time of awakening. We're
Absolutely.
in the time of,
Yes.
unveiling. We're in the time of revelation. Things are coming to the forefront. It's opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The thing is, Sophia, and it's really worth saying to this. Somebody says, they're doing this and they're doing that, and I will say to them, I show sympathy and I empathize with you, but I will say that you're still very powerful. And they say to me, how do you think I'm powerful? Well, what if I say there's three layers of consciousness in you? And they say, what? There's 3 layers of consciousness in you. You've got your super consciousness. That's where you're connected to the divine. Oh, where do you think ideas come from? Where do you think visions come from? Where do you think all this serendipity and deja vu and things start happening to you when you start realizing that there's a super conscious aspect to you? Then you've got your conscious mind, when you can train your consciousness like an athlete, train your consciousness to work for you. As one of the great master teachers said, train your mind to work for you and not against you. And subsequently, if you understand the law of mentalism, you start to bring things. There's a lovely quote. It's in my book right there. Can I go and get this quote to read it? Because it's just so powerful. So here's a lovely Rumi quote about life and consciousness. When I run after what I think I want, my days are a furnace of distress and anxiety. If I sit in my own place of patience, what I need flows to me and without any pain. From this understanding that what I want also wants me, is looking for me and is attracted to me. There is a great secret in this for anyone who can grasp it. How beautiful is that?
I love that.
That is by Rumi.
Yeah.
And that's understanding how consciousness creates our reality. Consciousness, if somebody understands that we are luminous beings, electromagnetic beings, sending our particles into the field, and that field is reacting to us. That's why I get people to look at films like What the Bleep Do We Know? A great film to watch on consciousness and how it unfolds into our own present reality. And this is why we have all these nefarious acts and all these different moving parts in the external world causing us mayhem within the inner kingdom. So we can't create the reality that we're after because we're too concerned about everything else. Yes. So we've got to sort of divorce ourselves from that and take ourselves into a place. I love this wonderful statement from another teacher. Go to a place within you where nothing's impossible. I went, whoa! I thought that was like winning the lottery. Go to a place within you where nothing's impossible. Come on, son.
That's so deep. I love that.
It's not for everyone to understand it.
Yeah. But I love that. But I also see the aspect
it's not for everyone.
When you have those signs, and when you have those signs and symptoms, your pains, your ailments, your signs and symptoms, it's like saying that something's not quite right. And in essence, your quote was just saying, well, there's signs and symptoms in life, and that if it's feeling hard, if something's not quite right, then it's something that it's not right. Do you know what I mean? Whereas life is accepting, and it's coming your way, and knowing that the universe has your best interest at heart, and things should come smoothly and easily for you. It shouldn't be hard. It should be come easily for you. And if it's a struggle, if you're in that fighting, in that battle, then maybe there's something not quite right. If you're fighting, having to fight too much.
We talked about this before, just just to complement what you're saying, when you understand there's a different aspect, different aspects within us, the higher self and the lower self. And if we are not doing enough work to feed the higher self, we cannot work the consciousness on the level that we want it to work on. If we're working on that old paradigm of how things work, that mechanical way of how it all used to work, the obsoleted way, it's going to be like walking with the ball and chain. It's got ball and chain. Oh God, life is a struggle. Life is hard. But if this person steps back and says, well, look, I've done this long enough, like one of my clients, Claire, which hopefully you really do get to speak to her. When you start to say, well, okay, I've played this game long enough, and at this juncture of my life, this is where that reality got me. Come on, let me hear that again. The reality that you just lived, you're living, right? It just got you where you've got. Was it easy? No, it's a bit of a struggle. Heartache up and down. All right, shall we change the whole paradigm? And they say, okay, let's change the paradigm. Right, you're going to have to do a huge shift of your consciousness. And what that means is, first, understand everything's energy. Can you go there? Look at everything around you and know that everything's energy. And that you permeate. That means you can, through your thoughts, through your meditations, through your incantations, you are creating reality. So if you say the word struggle, if the word, oh, things are hard, and all of that is regurgitated in, and it's coming out in volumes, and the feelings are coming out with that's a reality you're going to bring on yourself, as well as compounded by the world. So you got double whammy. You got your own drama going on, and you got the world on top of it. So wouldn't it just make sense to say, well, let me just step back up from all of this and find my own sanctuary?
Yes, I love that. I love the aspect of accepting the situation, understanding, and being in control of your thoughts and your feelings. I do believe, and we've said this before, I believe the universe only knows yes. The universe only knows yes. So if you say, I'm struggling, the universe will say, yes, you're struggling. If you say that I'm broke, the universe will say, yes, I'm broke. If you say that I'm lonely, the universe, yes, you are lonely, because you've created that, because that's your reality. Well, if you turn around and, you're not only your language, but your thinking, and it's not the 5 minutes of meditation or prayer, it's your everyday thinking that we need to be aware of. Do you know what I mean? And counting our blessings and being grateful. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, let me sneeze there.
Absolutely. When we realize that we're having 50,000 thoughts every day, bless you. We're having over 50,000 thoughts every day, and 90% of those thoughts are sort of like yesterday's thoughts, and 75% of those negative thoughts. So we got to sort of do some realignment, recalibration, upgrading, start, reprogramming and rehearsing, repeating, reestablishing a new way of thinking, a new consciousness of life. And when we realize that there is other realities, other dimensions out there, game on. This is what's been hidden from us. That's why I say to people, go and watch Doctor Strange. You'll find a lot of information there where this guy's living a normal, regular life until he had a problem with his hand. And he said he's gone to all the best surgeons around the world. They couldn't help him. He went to a teacher, talking mystically and talking a language I'm sharing with every human who grasps this and say, well, look, you're a luminous being. You create your consciousness, and reality will bend over. For you, one teacher says, bend reality, and it's true. You bend reality with your reality, with your consciousness, the way you're thinking repetitively. And when you penetrate the field will come to you. Don't believe it, Mikey? Well, go look at Lee Tackett's work. Body of energy, how consciousness creates reality. So when you've got this plethora, when you've got this whole library of information about consciousness, and it's been hidden for a while, but now being revealed. Now we got choices. Only this comes down to choices. Do I look at how messy it's getting out there? Or do I look over here and look at the paradise, how life could work for me? So when you get the universe in your sail, look at what happened now. you become like a surfer. You start to surf over the nonsense. And if you're not surfing, you become like an eagle rising above the storm. Or better still, you become a nuclear submarine, getting deeper into the ocean of life and understanding the depth within your power. It's almost like you become like a Jedi. You become like like Neo when he just stopped running and said, enough of this. And say one with the divine is the majority. Isn't that beautiful?
That's wonderful.
God,
That's wonderful. I know you talk about writing things down and how that can cement things for you. So sometimes what you're saying is that if you're unhappy with your reality right now, you're talking about creating that reality, and it could be like people use storyboards or no to or journals to write down what it is that you actually want, what is important, and so that you have something to focus on. And once you're focusing on that, the universe will give you. I think we are designed to answer questions, and sometimes we ask ourselves the wrong questions. So we might ask ourselves, why is this happening to me? And then we'll answer it, and it could be quite a negative answer. Whereas if we ask the question, what do I need to do? Who do I need to meet? What do I need to learn in order to achieve this goal? Then you're giving yourself something that to focus on, and giving yourself that stepping stone to reach that goal. So sometimes I suppose if we're controlling our mind, our thinking, our words, our actions, then it means that we can move forward in a smoother, less painful way. That's what I'm picking up from you today.
Yes, yes. Well, look, in all honesty, Sophia, I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, and the likes of Tesla, the great Nikolai Tesla. It says if you want to know how reality works, thinking, energy, vibration, frequency. These are not my words. These are from the great Nikolai Tesla, the great inventor, who showed us that there's free energy out there. You know, when you start to stand on the shoulders of giants, you're riding on this wonderful wave of knowledge, and you've got to say, well, look, I'm going to have to now really sit down and make way for this to filter through me. I need to process this. I need to assimilate this, and I need to take massive action on this. Because once it becomes part of you, your whole reality changes. What changes? Changes first. You start bringing different types of people in your life. You start to doors and opportunity which were closed on you start to open up more for you. You start to get more deja vu. You get more synchronicities. You get more money. You're making more money. You said we get windfall. One of my clients had a windfall of 200,000. I said, wow. Just based on this, he said, Mike, I'm not doing. I'm just listening to your meditation, and so I've got real evidence that this stuff works. And I see those that are just working in the normal paradigm of life. And I said, there you go. You're just doing what you just learned at school, college, and university in your everyday life, and you're just grinding away. Are you? Yeah, grind away till I get to a certain age and I get retirement. And I said, well, hold up a minute. What if the retirement was just even the start of your life for you to start manifesting? Because that's what it is here. You don't work hard. You learn to manifest in your life. Isn't that beautiful?
Definitely. And we've got to remember that Tesla studied ancient Kemet. So we know we go further back. Do you know what I mean? So we need to look at some of our great teachers, find out where they learned from. Let's go further back to the original indigenous people and how they learned, and they were much more powerful with about frequency, energy, mind, soul, the connection. Do you know what I mean? The oneness with the universe, oneness with nature. These are the priorities of life. Do you know? Priorities of life. Yeah.
That's it. There you go. The MAT, the MAAT laws, the MAT laws they've made. Yeah, the Moors and the Egyptians. They all came before everybody. And when we realized that the indigenous teachers had taught us this, and we've lost it along the way, Sophia. We've lost it, and because we've lost it, this is why we got ourselves in a fluke. And we're just. You're just in disarray because of it. It's in disarray because we just got to get back to how the game of life really works.
Definitely. But I also do believe in generational knowledge. In the same way we have generational trauma, we have generational knowledge. So it is within. We just need to be able to tap into it. So tapping into within.
Absolutely.
And to, as you always say all the time, know thyself. Know thyself.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. And know thyself. And as you say rightly, we got it in the DNA vibration. So let's say, Mikey, I want to start to shift this. I want to get into this energy, vibration, frequency of start attracting things into my life. And I say, okay, let's start rewiring that. Let's start rewiring your whole neurobiology. Let's get down and start doing some sacred work. Find yourself some sacred space where you can now start getting rid, working through some old belief systems, some antiquated, dilapidated old belief system that's held you anchored down into this third dimension. And so, right, let's lose those. Let's start working on your perception of reality. What's your perception of reality? Let's erase memories of things that are not working for you. And let's elevate you. So you start to use the power of your imagination and your intuition and your subconscious mind. You mean all this is within me? Yes, but it requires work. They call it self-work. You've got to spend time working on thyself in order for you. You know, how is a diamond formed? How is it extrapolated? You've got to work to get that diamond. You've got to work to get it within you. You've got to go through fears and worries and anxieties. And he said this, she said that. All that's in within you. All the pain and suffering you've been through in your life is stuck as what we call neuropeptide in your cells. And this is the body of knowledge by what's his name? Dr. Bradley Nelson. The emotional code in the body. In the body, you have these emotions. So this is the work one needs to do on self. It's a full-time, as my client, one of my recent clients said, Mike, it's a full-time job working on myself. Yes, it is. She said there's not enough time during the day.
I would probably even change the aspect of seeing it. This is a joy. This is what we need to do. It's not necessarily work. This is finding our true self. And I think, yes, we're going through traumas, but we need to realize that there's lessons in those traumas. There's lessons in our experiences. And then if we begin to love what is and love life, I think love is the key. So communicate with self, love life, see the beauty in all, then it just brings peace. And that's what we're working towards. That's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for that relaxation and peace and that balance and that harmony, you know, but it's achievable. And what we're doing is every time we come through these barriers, which could be what's happening in the world, it's a barrier. Once we learn those skills, we can get over those barriers easier. So it might be a challenge at first, but it's going to get easier and easier as we do it. It's like learning to walk again. Do you know what I mean? Learning to walk, you fall and you drop, but eventually you don't even think about it. So that's how.
Absolutely. It's inner alchemy. It's all inner alchemy. And changing that, you know, that the old self, well, just understanding the low self, understanding your personal ego, understanding your shadows, navigating through that and gravitating to your higher self and working from the higher self when you are guided intuitively. And that's when the magic of life starts working for you. So everything you're saying, and that self-love is like the sprinkling of everything. When you love yourself so much, and you know you deserve so much, and you say, right, let me start living the best life ever based on this level of knowledge. And this body of knowledge is phenomenal. It's for everybody. It's accessible right here, right now. If you said, right, I want to raise my consciousness and I want my consciousness to create my reality. And when you start getting to work, sacred prayers, sacred meditation, sacred breath work, sacred scripting, sacred walking, you know, when you start visualizing and all what the mystical techniques are, and start, you know, eating gold, edible gold, baby. When you start realizing there's knowledge upon knowledge, getting some shungai in you, you know, detoxifying your body. So it is nice work, but it's work. It's like it is work, nice work, but you realize I've got a lot to do here. Yes, but the good news is when you reach that what they call enlightenment, everything changes.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much. Beautiful. Appreciate you, Sophia.
You take
Talk
it.
soon. Namaste.
Oh, yeah. I believe one day, yeah. I believe in the future. I believe in the past. I believe what you truly desire, you can bring to pass. All you need is a focus and a story to hold, and the faith that you can achieve what's inside.